Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, as you guys know, when we're in Warframe, we're usually doing like a description video or something like that, or versus. And today we are doing a versus, obviously. As you guys can see, we are in the Somacorm. So, you know how that works. But anyway, so if you're new to this series, essentially just me, because I have all the frames. I just go through all the ones that have primes, and we pretty much see if there's any differences between them versus the regular version. And so far we haven't found very many things, but there are little subtle things we've learned we can do and stuff. So it's kind of been an interesting ride. But I do plan on doing this series until I run out of frames, essentially. So, but I know you guys enjoy these, and I know that they are useful to you people who are new players as well, because I do give tips while I'm doing these videos as well. So anyways, to that, here we are. We have Wukong today, guys. So Wukong was another one that was recently reworked as well. He was before Amber and Valbon, though. He was the one before them. So I'm going to show him off today, obviously. We have his prime, obviously, right now. So yeah. And essentially who Wukong is essentially the Monkey King. Essentially is what everyone dubs him as. And I would say that because he does look like a monkey. So you have some looks and of him and everything and whatnot. So that totally makes sense. But so Wukong is one of four frames that you can actually build from your dojo if your clan has the Tenno lab worked on and stuff. So he's one of the free frames you can get from the dojo, guys. We do have him in our dojo, so if you guys want to join our dojo, we are CrewTube. If you guys want to join us, one word. We did get a new guy recently that's been joining our clan. It's nice to have a new face around finally. But if you guys want to join our clan, feel free to send us a request to join. We'll be more than happy to let you guys join us, especially if you're a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer. But you don't have to be, obviously. We're not very, our clan is called CrewTube, but we're not really gonna be forcing people away just because they don't have a channel or anything like that. But yeah, guys, so let us know if you want to join. It's run by me and my friend Hooven, who you guys have seen on my former streams and stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get to work here. So, here we have Wukong Prime, guys. This is what he looks like normally. This is just his normal look. So, he's really cool. I do like him. He's one of those frames that I like their prime a lot more than their regular version. But I mean, the regular version doesn't look bad. He's one of the frames that his doesn't look bad, but at the same time it needs some. It's like, eh. So it's kind of up in the air and whatnot. But yeah. So this is my Wukong Prime, obviously. I went for more. He's more blue and teal. Kind of went with teal just because I don't really have much teal frames or anything, so yeah. And I believe this staff was his staff. I'm not sure. He it was either the one before him or the one after him that had nunchucks as well. I'm not sure which weapon is actually his. They probably are both his, but I don't know. But I think this one came with him, so this is essentially his weapon. So yeah, so if you guys are wondering what weapon he has. But he's also one of the frames I should mention that he has his own weapon. So you have to rig up his own weapon while you're rigging him up, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time it's kind of interesting too. Only like, I think there's 5 or 6 of them now that have their own weapons essentially, but yeah. So like I said, he's been reworked recently, and right hand side we have obviously his abilities. So only one of these has not been changed, and it is the second one. So he's got Celestial Twin, Cloudwalker, Defy, and Primal Fury. Actually, Primal Fury I think was the same as well, but I think they changed up like how his animations were and stuff because we got Melee 2.0 and stuff. But yeah, so 2 of those haven't changed really, and then 2 of them have changed. So yeah, and I'm not sure how to describe him. Like I said, he's pretty much represents the Monkey King version of Warframe. Is essentially what he represents. But so his abilities are hit and miss. They're kind of like sneaky abilities, kind of a mix between sneaky abilities and then damage abilities. Is essentially what it is, I would say. But like I said, he doesn't really have like a area of expertise, I would say. He's probably more damage than anything, but yeah. So, you guys know how this works. We always go in here and look for an enemy, we spawn them in, and we kill them all. So, I have had my Helos Prime on me for a while now, so we might have some new enemies we can actually spawn in now, which would be very nice. Looks like we have these guys now, so we might as well pick these guys, because they kind of match him, so we'll pick them. So, here we go. Alright, so, first ability, Celestial Twin. This ability makes a copy of yourself, essentially, is what it does. And he is extremely useful, guys. He is extremely useful. And he is a lot better than any, oh, what are those guys called? Shoot, what are they called? I have them in my inventory. I can pull them up in a second, but Spectres, that's what I was looking for. So he is essentially a hell of a lot better than any Spectre I've ever seen. As you guys can see, he acts like a Spectre. So that's essentially what he is. So let's walk over here, check him out. So yeah, like I said, he's essentially a copy of you. As you guys can see, he has everything the same with him. He has our Sayadana, he has our armor, he has everything the same with him, and he's just essentially a complete carbon copy of us. So, depending what weapon is in your hand, so as you guys can see, I have my melee weapon. Right now, he has my gun. So he actually does swap weapons depending on which weapon is in your hand. But, he essentially is, like I said earlier, he's essentially the better version of a Spectre. I mean, look at his health and his shield down at the bottom there, towards where my ability bar is. That is his health and his shield. It's ridiculously high, and it's crazy because it takes a lot to kill him. So, like I mentioned before, he's better than a Spectre. So he's great for those missions that you're really struggling on and you need an extra hand and your friends aren't on, or whatever. He's a great solo frame, guys. Wukong, since they reworked him, has become like one of the best solo frames. So, if you guys play solo a lot, he is a fantastic frame for that. So, also, I should probably point this out as well, just because it's really cool. But you can actually emote with your twin. See? Ain't that so cool? That was one of the first things everyone was trying when his rework released. And you can literally interact with your twin that way. It's so crazy. It's so funny to watch people be like, hi, and they're twins. But it's always fun to do, guys. So just a little fun thing you can do with your twin. And I believe, and what I've noticed that over time, especially if you're getting hurt or he's getting hurt, he has like special abilities. He has 3 special abilities he can trigger. One can help you increase like your health and shield faster. It like makes your rate go up faster. And then there's another one that increases your damage, I believe. So he's got some cool special abilities when he's not like being used or anything. So just an FYI on that. Like I said, you have to be getting majorly hurt, or he has to be getting majorly hurt for them to trigger, however. So, yeah, so just an FYI. And I think if he does die, you get temporarily immortal. So, it's very short-lived, but it does happen, which is really cool. But as you guys can see, he's not wasting any of my energy. If you look at my ability bar, it's not moving at all. and he's just chilling. So that's another thing to point out. He does not really use energy. He needs it once you activate it the first time, but he doesn't run on it, essentially, is what it is. But so he can last for a very, very long time. And he's probably your best ally when you're doing missions solo and stuff. So I do highly suggest Wukong as a solo frame if you guys are into that. Anyways, I'm going here. So actually this next ability, we don't really need enemies to show you what it does. So his second ability is Cloudwalker. And this ability is one of the ones that has not changed on him. Essentially, you disappear, become a big floating cloud. Just essentially disappear, become a big cloud, as you guys can see, and you can move around the map like at ridiculous speeds. That's essentially what that does. But as you guys can see, it does get rid of your twin. I did hop off a couple times, though. I think that's probably why. But yeah, when you use an ability and your twin is activated, he will use the same ability. That's another cool thing about him. So, yeah. And then, oh, that was Defy. I didn't mean to use that yet. Well, you guys just saw it, but yeah, Defy is his third ability, and this ability is actually a lot better with enemies. So I'm gonna pull out some enemies for it, but so we're gonna pull these guys out again. I'm gonna use Defy. So you kind of hover with your staff, and then you go around and hit them all once you spin, and it gives you armor, as you guys can see. So that ability is really cool. So it does damage, but it also gives you free shield as well, as you guys can see. Free armor, I mean. So that ability helps you last a lot longer, is essentially what it does. But like I said, it does damage too at first, and then it gives you armor for a set amount of a time. That amount of armor depends how many enemies you got with it. But your twin can also use that ability, which I will show you guys in a minute after we take these guys out. Oh, I love Gloss's gun so much. It's one of my favorite Nuka weapons now. But, yeah, so I'm gonna activate my twin. And then we're gonna Defy. As you guys can see, he does it too! So that is one ability he does with you. I believe he does Cloudwalker as well. Let's see. No, he does not actually do Cloudwalker. So there's one thing to tell you guys. So he does not use Cloudwalker when you use it. So I think that's the only ability he doesn't use, though, when you have it going on. So, yeah. So Defy is pretty much just you pulling out your staff briefly. Then you spin around like a crazy thing. And you gain armor from all the enemies around you that you get. So, essentially free armor is essentially what that ability is good for. And does damage. This is what I mean, guys. So he's good with damage. But at the same time, he kind of, is more for his own bidding. It's not for, like, your squad or anything. So it's kind of just for you. This is what I mean, but this is what makes him such a great solo frame because of that. So, yeah. So, okay, we're going to activate him again. And then we'll do his final ability, which has not changed at all either, except the animation. And this is his staff. This is his magical, beautiful staff it essentially makes and creates. So his weapon, his main weapon that I was talking about earlier, pulls it out. And now you can attack with your weapon. And you need to use your melee weapon, your melee button, in order to use it. But this staff, you can mod this staff as well, just like everyone else's weapons, every other frame that has their own weapons. Which I do highly suggest you do, because then you get some serious damage with it. And because it's melee, we can dodge, as you guys can see. So, yeah, so this is his big magical staff. Like I said, this has not changed. We had this ability when we first got him as well, before he was reworked. So this one and Cloudwalker are the two that have not changed at all. And I believe once you hit a certain amount, you can like slam down. But this staff is just fun to play with. I love using the staff, especially when, yeah, that ability right there, that slam ability, I think you have to be using it quite some time before it activates that way. And of course, it's limited, so over time you will run out of energy, obviously. But as you guys can see, my twin is still here, and I have no energy at all. So this is what I mean about him. So he is fantastic, just because he doesn't necessarily use energy. He's just there to help you, is essentially what he's there for. So yeah, guys, there is the general little lowdown on Wukong. And I say we pull out a regular one now, see if we can find any differences. Usually we only find differences in like their, like how something looks or something, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my Wukong now, my regular one. Like I mentioned earlier, you can get him in your dojo, especially if your clan is way ahead or anything like that. He's one of the free frames in the Tenno Lab in the dojo, so I do suggest building him instead of buying him, just because he's free that way, so it's a lot easier. So yeah. And this is the one. And for a long time, he wasn't actually used, because he was kind of second rate. Not many people really liked how he worked and everything. So he kind of was a Warframe for a while, but since his rework, I mean, he's definitely made a comeback. And I've seen a lot of people use him now. And it's actually great to see them use him, because he is a fun frame to use now, so. Alright. So, here's my regular Wukong, guys. He does have a deluxe skin. I have it on my primed version of my Wukong. But this is not his deluxe skin. This is a Tenno Gen skin. But, it's a really cool skin, though, guys. If you guys want to check it out for yourselves, feel free to. But this is a Tenno Gen skin. This is one of the ones I really liked, so I kind of put it on him. And I think this one came a couple rounds ago. This wasn't like an older round or anything. This was a couple rounds ago that we got this skin for him. But yeah, so this is a Tenno Gen skin, if you guys are wondering. And I think essentially, yeah, I would say essentially like health and shield, they're similar. Of course, the Prime version is going to have a little higher shield, but I think that's the only difference there we have. And then, and as you guys see, he's really fast. So if you guys mod Wukong right, he can be very fast. So, just a tip there if you guys are looking for a fast frame and a free frame, like I mentioned earlier. So, let us spawn these guys again. Okay, and we're gonna pull out our twin. And our twin on the regular version does the same thing he does on the Prime version. He helps you in battle. He doesn't use energy. He's just pretty much there to help you. Is essentially what he's there for. And as you guys can see, that's him shooting my gun. And he can do serious damage. But, so let's go over here and check him out. So exactly the same as my primed Wukong. He's exactly the same. He looks exactly like me and everything. He acts the same. And like I mentioned before with the weapons, he uses the opposite weapon we have. So, yeah. So, nothing really different there. And they still have like that swirling effect around him that indicates that he's the twin. He's not the real version. That's pretty much the only reason that's there. But, so let's do Cloudwalker. So it seems like Cloudwalker is exactly the same as the Prime one. Just a big giant smoke cloud and you just fly away. Fly around the map. That ability is great to use if you need to get somewhere. That's essentially what it's good for. Or if you want to sneak up on some enemy or something, that's pretty much all it's good for. But, you know, you can have some fun with it. You can mess with some enemies and stuff with it, so. And, oh, that's another thing I should mention. So they kind of consider him, like in his description, that he's a trickster. So it kind of makes sense he would have an ability like that, just because he's kind of tricking the enemy and surprising him from behind and stuff. It's kind of what I think they were going for with that ability. But I honestly don't use that ability much, just because it's kind of useless. I mean, unless I need to get somewhere super fast, then I'll use it. But other than that, it's kind of useless. But, yeah. Then, okay, let's respawn them in again. And, oh yeah, guys, if you want me to do a, fashion frame video again, I did one 2 years ago about, I have changed up quite a few of my frames and stuff. If you guys want to see my new skin, my new schemes and stuff, I'll be more than happy to do a video of that for you guys. Again, I've thought about it. That's kind of one of the videos I've thought about doing recently. But we'll see. I might wait until the end of the year of this year or whatever, but yeah. If you guys want me to do another one of those, I'll be more than happy to. Okay, so we're going to spawn these guys back in. And we're going to use our Defy now. And it essentially is the same as the Prime version. As you guys can see, we have armor again. So yeah, our Defy is pretty much the same. Just pull out our staff and hold it up like a crazy thing, and then we gain armor with all the enemies we get. So yeah, so that ability is essentially the same. So is the Smoke Walker one, and the twin one is the same as well, obviously. He keeps walking around me. Oh, he moves with your camera. What the freak? I don't think I've ever noticed that. Yeah, he literally moves with your camera. That is interesting. Okay, so yeah, these kind of little things we find out in this place just because we're messing around and stuff. Like, we found out that Valkyrie, you can slam her when her claws are activated, which is really cool. But it is kind of interesting that the twin actually moves kind of with your camera. Like, just generally where you're looking, he'll move there. So that's kind of weird. That's kind of interesting. So there's a little funny thing that we found. It's like I said, like a couple seconds ago, that's always kind of interesting to mess around with these guys in here, just because it's a free area. There's not many enemies or anything. You have to spawn them in yourself. So you find all these little weird little things that they can actually do. So it's just kind of fun things to find. But yeah. So, let us trigger these guys one more time. And then we'll do our Defy. And then we'll do our pull out our Fury Staff. Let's go. Yeah, I fell off, so my twin fell off too, but... one more guy, I think that was the last guy. Nope, there's one more. There's two more, actually. Alright. Okay, I think we got them all. But, yeah, guys, so as you guys can see, his staff is essentially the same as well. It got the same effect and everything. It's got, like, the strobe going on and everything, and he holds it the same way. So, yeah, guys, I don't think we're going to find many differences in Wukong today, but we did find that cool little feature that his twin moves around with your camera, which is kind of interesting, like just generally where you're looking. So we did find out something a little bit different. So there you have it, guys. There's Wukong, the Monkey King Warframe, or trickster, whatever you want to call him. He is, like I said, since his rework, he has been a much better frame, just like Valbon has been and stuff. So I'm actually happy with the rework, and I hope they don't change him again, just because now he makes some serious damage. And like I mentioned, like twice or 3 times now, guys, I don't know, I've lost count, but Wukong is definitely a frame you need if you play solo a lot, just because he's pretty easy to understand, and he's great just because his twin is there to help you out. So yeah, guys, if you play solo a lot, definitely pick Wukong for you. So there you have it, guys. There is our next versus. I believe, who is our next frame? Because we're on W right now, right? Yeah. And I started on, who was it? I think I started on Chroma, I think is who I started on. Our current prime is Elvira, so she will come in a little later, obviously. Equinox as well. I think Equinox is going to be first, because did I do him? I don't remember if I did a video of him or not, guys. I don't think I did, because I think his prime came out, like, after I started doing the series. So, yeah, so we got a couple that we miss. So this next couple videos might be kind of weird. They're not going to be in alphabetical order anymore or anything, but on my playlist, I'll make sure to put them in alphabetical order for you guys, though. So, anyways, there you have it, guys. There is Wukong. And you know what? Let's go see who the next frame is. Because we did do Banshee. Oh, we didn't do Atlas, I don't think. So Atlas might be one of the next ones. Let's see. Okay, Zephyr is the next one. And then we're just going to start randomly hitting everyone that I didn't get to, is essentially what the plan is. So, there you have it, guys. And I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions for me, do let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next video.